So I was doing a presentation at the Traffic and Conversion Summit, which was a top-notch, amazing event, and I brought someone with me to this event. So here's what you want to do if you're going to bring someone with you to an event.
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
So if you bring someone with you to an event, you obviously want to have them film. And if you're bringing a video guy, he's going to film, but you want to basically talk about how you're going to film and how everything's going to be videotaped in a way that's going to be very useful to you in the future with your speaking business. So here's what you need to do. So first off, don't film any pornography. So there are multiple things that you can film. You can just film just regular B-roll footage. I mean, this is just footage of you just doing stuff, just really anything. And B-roll footage is mainly for your video guys when they're creating a demo later on, and maybe they see you coming out into a crowd. And this is just stuff that it's not you on stage doing anything. It's just regular stuff. And this is perfect for video guys when they're trying to create a bumper. A bumper is basically what you see at the beginning of the Speak and Lifestyle videos, where I say something and then bam, it goes into that 15-second intro. That's called a bumper, and B-roll footage is good for that. B-roll footage is good for your demo video. But when you have someone who's coming to your event and they're filming you, you can tell them like, hey, you can say like, hey, I want you to film just some B-roll footage, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. If they're a film guy, if they're just your friend, you want to describe it to them. But when you're filming, you want to pay attention to the background. So it's like when I was at the Traffic and Conversion Summit, and I was going to do a presentation for the VIP dinner. I walk into the room, and it just looked like a normal room at first. So we looked at the background, and there was an exit sign right behind me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that an exit sign?
And I immediately knew, like, okay, this isn't going to look good on film. So what we did is we asked for pipe and drapes, and this is just to make it look better when we're filming, and just make sure we don't have a freaking exit sign and doors behind me. So you want to pay attention to the background when you're filming. You can simply just ask the hotel, like, hey, you guys got pipe and drapes to put it up. That way the experience is better for everybody. Just a better experience. And you really do want to pay attention to the background in general, because even if you're getting paid $500,000 to speak, then if the background makes you look like a scrub, you are a scrub on video. So just keep that in mind. Now, one thing I'm going to show you footage of this actually. When we were at the event, I had my guy just basically take testimonials, just get reviews after the presentation. And what happened was he simply just set up the camera, he set up a light, and he just asked people like, hey, what did you think of Benji Bruce?
What do you think? What do you think of Benji Bruce, Nicholas?
Can I be honest with you?
Please, let it go.
I think we take the guy out of here tonight, we take him down to the pond, and we see if he can walk on water.
And you want to make sure that your video guy is doing that. And where you want to set up, you want him to set up like literally right next to you. As soon as you're done with the presentation, you're going to get off stage and you're basically going to say like, yeah, I'm the man. No, you don't really want to do that. But you're going to basically get off stage and you're going to stand there, and your video guy is going to be very close to you. So once people start coming up to you and people are like, oh my goodness, they're panties and throwing roses at you and all sorts of stuff. And once that happens, now you essentially say like, oh, can you say that to the camera? And then you point and you say, yeah, that guy over there, not as good looking as me, but that guy over there. And you tell them to basically go over and give you a testimonial. You want to have your video guy ask them a few questions, and this really depends on you, what kind of questions you want to ask. A question that I always have him ask is, he says like, oh, what did you like best about the presentation, and is there one specific thing? And that way they say, oh, I like the ending. Oh, the ending was amazing. I mean, everything else up to that was great, but the ending just, oh my goodness, the number thing. And that's what happens every single time. So you want to think in terms of the questions that your video guy is asking.
But the very last one at the end just blew me away.
And also, I actually didn't think about this for a while, but you want to have a light, and this light is just going to make people stand out from the background. And it's an LED light that was hooked up to the camera, and it was like at the top of the camera, and it just lit them up better, so that way you could actually see them, and they stood out from the background. So make sure you just have everything set up really nice. And you do want to use a microphone, and the microphone, you don't want to have a clip-on mic, because if you gotta spend like 10 minutes hooking someone up with a clip-on mic and doing all this stuff, then you're not going to get too many people to give you the testimonials. So what you just want to have is a shotgun mic, where it's like a mic at the top of the camera, and you just have this mic, but don't have a clip-on mic, because you don't want to be like, oh, all right, hold on, all right, perfect, okay. You just want to basically say, okay, just say what you thought and all this whole shebang, and say how amazing he is. And at the very end, you want to make sure you give your video guy some business cards. So you give him the business cards, that way he can hand them to the people who are giving you the testimonials, and if you forget your cards, then he has cards on them. So make sure you give your video guy the cards as well. But basically, when you bring a video guy, the purpose of your video guy isn't just to film you speaking on stage, it's to have him set up, to get the reviews, to get the testimonials, and it's the little details that kind of make it better. And one thing with your video guy as well is you want to make sure that he tells people, hey, don't be boring. Don't just say, oh, it was amazing. So you want to kind of make sure that he's asking people questions, and based on these questions, people are going to respond in a certain way. And one way for you to make this easier on him is when people come up to you and talk to you, and when people say, oh, that was amazing, that was the greatest thing in the world. When people come up to you, you want to look for people who are energetic, people with the emotions, they express the emotions. And when you look for this person, when someone comes up to you and they say, dude, that was freaking awesome, oh my gosh, that person is going to be better than a person who comes up to you and says, that was cool, I loved it, that was amazing. So you want to basically send that person, like, oh my goodness, you want to send them over to give the testimonial, versus a person who's like, oh, that was cool. So just keep that in mind. But when you bring a video guy, you need to take advantage of it as much as you possibly can.